Alright, what's up, guys? Happy holidays, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned that yet, and it's very close to Christmas. So, whatever you celebrate, even if you don't celebrate, happy, festive times or whatever the case may be. So, here in this session, I'm back to doing like, a full body calisthenics routine. Just did pull ups, then I did dips. Then after that, I did chin ups, diamonds, decline diamonds, and then I did some leg raises with a dead hang at the end of my second set of leg raises, and then 70 Hindu squats and 70 horse stance squats. So in my last video, which hopefully uploads within a timely manner, or at least before this one comes out, I was saying how I am pretty indecisive when it comes to how I want to train. I do find myself continuously changing up my routine, but not to a point to where like I don't make any gains or anything like that, or my gains are like inconsistent. Well, maybe they could be more consistent if I just stuck to like one routine, but I feel like it's like there are just things that come up. Maybe it's just like influence of what it is that I see like on YouTube or social media, and I see somebody do this, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'm going to do that. And then I see somebody do something else, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'm going to do that. So instead of like finding my own type of way to train, I end up training like other people when it doesn't even relate to how I like, even want to train myself. So, but kind of going back to my roots, thinking of calisthenics, I remember I would just do a bunch of like high reps, high volume when I first started out. And I would I would like almost do push-ups every day. So I was like, why not translate that to maybe doing a full body every day? Now, I'm gonna admit, like, there are some calisthenics athletes or calisthenics influencers or whatever that kind of made full body daily training very popular, like Hannibal for King. He's really big example with him doing his like circuit workouts like for an hour to 2 hours like every day. And then there's others which I can't really name off the top of my head, but I just kind of feel like, maybe daily training, or daily as in full body daily training, that is a kind of a mouthful, is, pretty, I don't know, I feel like that's just what I want to do. I remember when I first did daily calisthenics, that is what I was doing. I was doing like, pull-ups, push-ups, dips, whatever, and I was making sure I did maybe 2 sets of everything, and then I did like 100 squats or whatever the case may be, and then I ended up changing it around. So just kind of, again, like I said, going back to my roots, just trying to master these movements, just doing them repeatedly over and over, day in, day out. We are what we do repeatedly, right? As Bruce Lee said, I don't fear the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So it's just about being consistent and about kind of using the entirety of my body almost daily, because for the most part with a regular training split, you're gonna, let's say, let's say you do an upper body, arms and lower body, so on upper body, you're getting, your pecs, back, delts, whatever the case may be, and maybe some arms, because like that's just going to it's just going to happen like that. And but you're not working your legs, and then let's say once you get to that leg day, now it's like, oh man, I have to train my legs, and then you're gonna end up being sore for like the next 3 days or whatever the case may be, and you feel like you can't even use your legs. But instead, if you were to do something like, okay, I'm gonna do 100 or I'm gonna do 50 lunges every day, then your legs are always going to have a stimulus, and that way you can adapt and change to just daily things over and over again, right? Even just think about like laborers. Sure, they don't work like every single day or whatever the case may be, but they probably work like majority of the week for long hours. And like a lot of laborers, especially intensive labor, they're very like they're pretty jacked, right? They're more jacked than the average person. Now, I'm not saying like, I wish I was a laborer or something like that, or I want to live that type of lifestyle. But just kind of putting that type of way of thinking, thinking of that lifestyle and how I can integrate it to my training, to where it's kind of like I do the same things repeatedly, outside of like doing some variations of these movements repeatedly every day. And then by doing that, like I might just end up building muscle, building strength, things like that, without even having to kind of think about it. Because a lot of training things, a lot of training programs are very can become very complicated. I don't know, periodization, meso, poo poo, doo doo, caca cycles, whatever the case may be. Stuff that I hear and I'm just like, okay, I don't understand what you just said. And so it's just like, why not just make it very, very simple, bare bones? Okay, I'm gonna do the same couple of movements here and there. If I want to switch it up here and there, then I'll switch it up. And I'm really switching it up based on my own actual knowledge of what I know, based on, any given exercise. So it's like maybe one day I'll do decline diamond push-ups, and then another day instead of doing those I'll do maybe ring push-ups or something like that, right? Or maybe instead of leg raises I'll do sit-ups, whatever the case may be, just changing it around to however I might feel. I know that doesn't sound super consistent, but majority of the time my workout is going to consist of just doing pull-ups, dips, some type of push-up and some type of chin-up, and then core work and then leg work. So doing that like every single day, day in, day out, my entire body is basically going to have blood flowing to, to whichever muscle groups, or all the muscle groups that I worked actually, since I would be doing full body every single day. And I am going to be responsible. I'm not going to go to failure. At least I'm not going to go to failure on movements that I know, where the muscles can't really recover well. So I'm not going to go to failure on, let's say, dips, or I'm not going to go to failure on push-ups, because I know my triceps, shoulders, chest can get pretty sore from just doing dips or some deficit push-ups. And of course, when it comes to chin-ups and pull-ups, I'm not going to go to failure. There may be some sets here and there, every couple of days, or just one set out of each exercise where I will go to failure, but that's not enough fatigue that's going to accrue over time in order to hinder my workouts. And then again with doing my legs, right, doing hundreds of squats or hundreds of whatever the case may be, I'm not going to fatigue myself, because for one, I don't get sore in my quads like I used to anymore because I'm not like a beginner. And then two, just I'm not going to failure, right? I may be approaching it, I may be getting close, but I'm not going to failure, whatsoever. Maybe some reps look like they're failure, but that's because I'm accidentally kind of letting my technique go and I'm not being careful and I'm not breathing correctly, which of course is something I have to improve on. But again, like, just doing full body, I kind of like it. I kind of like how my entire body just has blood flowing through it. I just get like this pump throughout my entire body. And sometimes I can see adaptation from day to day. Like maybe yesterday I was able to do 8 chin-ups. Now today I'm able to do 10, right? It's just I'm able to see that growth happening, over time, just by doing the same movements over and over. And it's a lot easier to track because, you're doing it again, the next day and the next day. So it's like, imagine you want to, I don't know, dips, right? Let's say on the first day you do it, you're able to do 8. And then the next day you try and go past 8, and then you go 9. And then the day after that, you go 10. Day after that, 11. Okay, maybe this day, now you just only go for 11 for each set. And then 2 days after that, you try and go up to 12, whatever the case may be. You know, whatever you want to do, that's the thing. So I'm not going to enforce this. I'm not going to try and push this and say like everybody should do full body. Full body is the best thing in the world. Just for me personally, this is what I'm going to do. I feel like it's going to allow me to stay consistent. And that's one thing too, since I have to do my entire body every day. Instead of having days where I come up where, oh, I'm gonna train my arms, but I'm not gonna train my arms with curls and whatnot or extensions. I'm gonna just do like close grip pull ups, and then none of that stuff where I just do random stuff on any given day, right? Or like, I'm not really feeling my legs, so I think I'm just gonna skip it because I have next week or whatever the case may be. No, I have every day. I have every day where I have to train my legs, right? Every day where I have to train my chest, arms, shoulders, every single day. So that way, it's like there's no running away from it. There's no like waiting for it. There's no needing to have any anticipation. I know that I'm gonna do this, this, and this, so then I end up doing this, this, and this. I also just kind of want to see how this goes, just sticking to this, just seeing where it takes my body in terms of performance, in terms of, I guess, muscle, of course, that's one thing. I'm not even going to say, I guess, like, bro, who doesn't want to be bigger? Like, let's be honest, who doesn't want to have a bit more muscle? Who doesn't want to have, bigger shoulders, whatever the case may be, right? But here, I guess, it's not super hypertrophy focused. But whatever, whatever. I think that's enough about me talking about full body training. But in general, I just want to see where this is gonna take me. If you want to leave in the comments your concerns or any questions, you can do that about why I want to train full body or how you can get into training full body. I'll answer. I look at all the comments. Maybe I'll even just make a video just talking about how to kind of get into full body training. Another thing, guys, anybody who, watches my videos, things like that, and, likes my content, whatever, it would be very appreciated to, maybe leave a comment and things like that on, whether what you want me to talk about or any questions that I can then later make as a video. I have gotten a comment asking to talk about how to stay consistent when it comes to exercise. And he asked me to talk about that in one of my next videos or a video that I had already uploaded. So, if any of you guys kind of want to do the same thing, go ahead. That'd be much appreciated. It would be great to be given any type of ideas or any type of concepts to talk about, my videos or whatever. Because all the time, my noggin, my little pee-wee brain, it's not always going to have stuff to say. It's not always going to have things to think of. Sometimes I'm just like, turn on the mic and I'm just blah, blah, blahing. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, what did I even say? Was I coherent? But then I end up seeing that people watched it. So I really do appreciate that. Again, if you guys, want to leave any recommendations for what I should talk about in any of my videos, go ahead and do that. If anybody's watching and you're new, check out whatever I have uploaded if you want to. Subscribe, like the video, whatever. So yeah, peace out. See you guys in the next video, which will be tomorrow, of course.